Well,
You're supposed to say, ladies and gentlemen.
normally though, kind of we talk for a second until you say something ridiculous, and then I cue the theme music, and then we say, "Ladies and gentlemen."
Well, in any case, ladies and gentlemen is binary as fuck, and it doesn't really lend itself to having an audience beyond folks who only identify as a lady or a gentleman.
I think if you were a
So that's
non-binary
cool.
person and you took issue with "ladies and gentlemen," it would be
What?
hard to um, consume entertainment. I think a lot of entertainment kind of
Sam,
probably uses that.
please
trope
edit this
that's
out.
outdated.
Please, let's just start over. I'm not going to start a fucking podcast with you taking this side of gender normative bullshit. Like, yeah, it is really hard. Good point. That's your point. That is hard, and fuck them.
No,
Do you want to just edit that out?
yeah, I don't think this is a good podcast so far.
I think it's a great podcast because I'm winning and you're losing. You keep saying racist, dumb things, and I keep winning.
You literally are. It's just like you're a little child, and you have all these things that you allegedly care so much about, and then you just do tremendous disservice after disservice to them by just you're just like throw around racism all the time when it has no context or bearing whatsoever on what's going on, and then when you actually do want to try and use it to try and point out someone's biases, no one's going to take you serious, and you're like, I don't care. And so then it's just like, well, what do you care about?
Are you saying this because I think it's wrong for you to speak French at Arabs and Arab lands?
We're in Morocco where people speak Arab and French.
Arabic is a language.
Arabic.
Arab is a racist trope. Congratulations on illustrating my point.
We're in Morocco where people speak Arabic and French. And you have a little bit of Arabic, even though it seems to be elitist Arabic that people don't speak here.
Is this a different dialect? Is that elitist?
Okay, it's college educated Arabic.
No.
That's what someone said. Anyway, I
My
don't speak any
accent is a
Arabic. I speak
fucking-
French, and you seem to take it really personally that I can communicate with the people in French and not Arabic.
I have taught you how to say hello, thank you, good evening in Arabic. And yet you choose to greet a formerly colonized people with the language of their colonizer in their liberated land. What the fuck? Like, why is this a controversial statement? You know the Arabic, use the Arabic.
I don't know Arabic.
I've taught, like, is it because you're too stupid to learn, like, basic phrases?
No, I just don't know how to communicate in Arabic beyond saying hello.
You just walk
Or
around
thank you.
bone swine people in the evening. You could just say the same thing in Arabic, but you refuse to, and that's what I'm saying.
I do both, but you're the problem that you have seems to be that I'm more able to communicate with people here because of my French than you are with your Arabic, and that's frustrating for you because you try and get things done with your Arabic, and it always ends up in confusion. And then when I step in and start speaking French, it's crystal clear what's going on, what we need, what needs to happen, what we need to do.
Give one concrete example of that ever happening beyond your stupid little MacGyver fantasies where you're the only useful person and there's a big catastrophe that needs to be averted.
You really want me to give the example that you already know I'm about to give? Fine. When we were about to run out of gas,
First of all we had to do was point at the gas tank. All we had to do is point at the gas tank. French did not help us in the middle of the fucking countryside in Morocco because those people don't speak French because they're too young to have contact with your colonizing ways.
they definitely spoke French. What are you talking about?
They didn't speak French.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do something a little unorthodox here. This is Sam, the editor, speaking now. with the benefit of a little bit of hindsight, I've been listening back to this voice memo recording that me and my brother did for this podcast episode, and I'm feeling triggered. And this section in particular, it needs a little bit of clarification. And so before I begin, I want to say I'm anticipating already if my brother even listens to this, which we'll find out if he responds or not. But I'm anticipating his critique will be like, finally, this is the evidence that I needed, that all along Sam, the editor, has been manipulating things behind the scenes to make sure that his perspective wins out. And while I'm actually genuinely concerned about this critique from my brother, but but then I was just sort of thinking about, it's just like when the Democrats or when Obama's like tried to play cool with the insane Republicans and tried to like anticipate what they like and like work with them, and it just like you can't work with someone who's so unreasonable and insane. Try and anticipate their critique and then take that into account, because they're not going to operate in good faith in return. And my brother is the exact same way. He's not going to operate in good faith regardless. So I'm not going to anticipate his, what would be like an otherwise legitimate concern, and accommodate that, because if I do that, pretty soon, the crazies are going to be running the whole show. And dear listeners, I will not let that happen. I will remain the voice of reason and will keep truth as a guiding light for Phone Wallet Keys, David Ortiz. And so I'm going to tell you what actually happened in this story. And I'm not even sure why, but I just have a intuition, an editor's intuition, that it is important. It's an important story to tell to help convey a dynamic. So I'll try and keep it brief, and then I'll go back to the original recording. We were in Morocco together, and we were driving to the countryside to go on a hike to find a waterfall that went to the ocean. We didn't have directions to where we were going. We had verbal directions, like go to this town, pass by, cross a river, turn right, that kind of stuff. But like there's no coordinates on Google Maps, and we had one working phone. So at a certain point, the gas light comes on, which is interesting because the story is going to end up with another kind of gaslighting, but not that kind. So the gaslight signaling that we are low on gas comes on, about to run out of gas. And we're in the middle of nowhere on the countryside of Morocco. And so I say, hey, let's look up on Google Maps where the closest gas station is. And with a one working phone, I find out it's 40 kilometers behind us or something, back on this highway. And though none of us are quite sure what a kilometer is, we're all reasonably confident that we'll be able to get back to the gas station before we run out of gas. But Max says, no, let's just keep going. We'll just keep going to our destination. We can deal with this later. So already I'm like, that's completely insane. I'm not going to keep going to find this fucking hike that we don't even know where it is, and then go on a hike and then deal with the fact that we are about to run out of gas when we're hungry and tired. No way. So I want to get the gas now. And Max says, all right, fine. Well, and at that moment, like an Arab kid on a little motorbike is driving by. Max flags him down and gets out and is speaking Arabic to him. And the kid starts pointing up this hill, this kind of hill with a remote village. Like it's like this, just a few like ramshackle buildings. It's not even a village. And Max is pointing back up there, and the kid is pointing back up there, and they're speaking in Arabic to each other. Max gets back to the car and he says, there's a gas station at the top of the hill. And I say, there's no fucking way that there's a gas station. Does anyone think that there's possibly a gas station on top of the hill? And everyone's like, no way. Max is like, sometimes there are these little markets that sell gas. And so we start driving up this hill, and this is off road. There's no road at this point. So we're just kind of like gunning it to get up this hill. And we're halfway up, and I'm in the back seat just saying, there is no gas station at the top of this hill. This is fucking crazy. And at that point, we turn, and the kid on the motorbike is waving at us saying, no, not up there. And so I'm like, okay, I told you, this is fucking insane. So we turn around, we come back down. Max speaks with him in Arabic again. And this time now he's pointing down towards an even more remote village. Again, like another dirt road. I'm like, there's no gas station down there. We're not there's a miscommunication here. And but no, so we start driving down that hill and we get up halfway and I'm just like, sorry, I have to stop here and insist. This is fucking insane. Max's Arabic is not good enough to apparently, or like this kid is not, I don't know what, there's a disconnect here and I want to go to the gas station that exists on the map. And so we get back up to the road. And at this point, there's another motorbiker. This guy's also with his friend, the same other guy. And Max starts speaking to them in Arabic. And then he gets back to the car and he's like, okay, this time I understand what's going on. They're saying that we should go forward, go onward, and there's a gas station 20 kilometers ahead. And I'm like, well, why isn't it on the map then? And Max is like, because these things aren't always on the maps here, but I'm positive. Like I've spoken to these guys and I'm just like, I think that that's fucking insane, and I really think we should go get the gas at the gas station. And everyone in the car agrees with me. There's 4 of us in the car, all 3 except Max. So then we start driving towards the gas station that exists on the map. And while we're driving there, Max throws a fit basically and calls me racist because I'm speaking the colonialist language French to the locals and I trust Google Maps instead of them. And I try and explain to him, it's not that I trust Google Maps more than them or whatever, the locals, but that clearly his Arab, he was unable to communicate with them. And this is so frustrating to him because he's such a source of pride for him that he's like speaking the non-colonialist language with them, but it's just not working and we're running out of gas. The gas light's already on. And so whatever, we get the gas back at, the gas that was shown on the map, and we just barely get there. We go forward onto the hike, going past where those other kids had told us to go. There was definitely no gas station there either, which we didn't bring up. And then later on, Max says that the thing that he was like really upset with was my unwillingness to help him deal with that situation, which was insane. That was him. That's the second gaslight of the story. And why do I bring this up? Why do I feel the need? I mean, I think that we had a phenomenal trip together. It was really, really fun. I love him very much. Max, if you're listening, I love you. And I think that was genuinely a really great time that we had. But it was also, and that was probably like, I think that was one of the only fits that you threw the entire time, which is impressive for you. I think that's showing real growth. And I'm just so happy for you that there are signs on your 36th birthday trip of growth. Anyway, that's it. That's the story. That's what's the background. If you hear some tension in the voices of this next episode, just know that we had spent the day before pondering some of the deep differences in our traveling styles and personalities, and we're in the process of reconciling them. It's a special episode coming up of Phone Wallet Keys, David Ortiz. Without further ado, baby, I'm an anarchist.
Cross me up! Don't snap, don't breathe, just to leave me on this skin. And baby, begin!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Phone Wallet Keys, David Ortiz. This is a special, sad episode, a solemn episode from the west coast of Africa. We are in Essaouira, Morocco, together. And we are here to talk about the end of the Patriots' 2019-20 season. And possibly, although I'm not buying it, Tom Brady's last game with the Patriots. Are you buying it?
I think it's a distinct possibility, and we need to prepare ourselves and develop a family line so that we can tow it real quick
What's the family line?
I don't know. We should really hash this out though, because there's going to be a barrage of hot takes and people putting a nail in the coffin of the Patriots dynasty.
Yeah, but that is kind of a hallmark of the Patriots dynasty. And by the way, I wonder if that's like also, is that a hallmark of all dynasties? Like, were people just constantly being like, this is, no, I guess Jordan's Bulls are different because they just won every year. Except when he was kicked out of the NBA for a couple seasons, but
He was not kicked out of the NBA.
stop scratching on there.
He was not kicked out of the NBA.
He was kicked out of the NBA.
Why do you say that?
Because I don't believe that he left the NBA to go play minor league baseball shittily because his dad died and his dad always wanted him to be a baseball player. That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't believe the same person who would have shadow suspended him would have allowed him to buy an NBA team. Do you?
Yeah, why not? It's good for the NBA to let him buy a team. And also the reason why he got shout out suspended is because it was good for the NBA to not have him actually kicked out.
I guess we'll never know because David Stern died.
Yeah, David Stern died. Anyway,
We should talk more about Tom fucking Brady, the greatest quarterback who's ever lived.
yeah. He's the greatest quarterback who ever lived. It's been a really rough season for him and the Boston sports media. And I don't know, has it affected the way that you've enjoyed him? I mean, he has no weapons. He had no weapons. If we had Gronk, we would have won that
Antonio
game.
Brown.
No, even just Gronk. Like, if Gronk hadn't retired, we would be,
Winning the Super Bowl.
or at least competing for it.
If we had Gronk and we had our center, David Andrews, a really shored up offensive line, I feel like we would have won all the games.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we wasted the greatest defense I've ever seen us have.
It wasn't that good.
I guess not. The linebackers let someone run for 180 yards on us.
Yeah, but also, like, that fucking Miami game, the last game of the season, all we needed was the defense to stop Miami one time, and we would have had a bye, and they failed to do that. And then
Yeah.
the controversial punt at the end of the game against the Titans, I mean, if we had just stopped the Titans and Ryan fucking Tannehill from completing a first down, then it would have been a smart move by Belichick to have punted. Like, the defense actually... I mean, it's not their fault. They gave up fucking 14 points. And so we couldn't fucking score 16 to win the game. We couldn't even get a drive. Like, Brady had the ball. We couldn't get a fucking field goal. So it was
In
our
the second
offense's
half.
fault. But I don't know. It was a waste of a defense that was a Super Bowl caliber defense by an offense that just had no weapons. A poor offensive draft for the last 2 seasons. I mean, bad trade. Like, Sanu was a bad trade. Dorsett, that was a bad trade.
It would all have been fine if we had Gronk.
But if we had just had Gronk, like, we just needed. Once teams figured out that if they double team Julian Edelman, that we had no other options.
I mean, if we had traded a second round pick to Detroit for Danny Amendola, like, couldn't we just done that?
Instead of Sanu,
Instead of fucking Sanu, who sucked.
who wasn't the answer. Yeah, we just needed one other reliable option on third down, so they couldn't double team Edelman every time. And if we had Gronk, that would have been fine. I mean,
Tom Brady's last play as a Patriot is going to be a fucking pick six
I don't really know what like the last play of pick six narrative. Like, who gives a fuck what the last play is? The last play is not going to be a fucking game winning touchdown pass.
Unless it is.
I mean, in the Super Bowl
Unless it is.
next year.
Unless it is. What if he just like, fuck this. I'm coming back one more time. Everybody, I'm like we're gonna do it one more time. Take your best shot. Enjoy this fucking fake Super Bowl. I'm bringing a real offense next year. put an asterisk on this if you want because I'm winning the fucking game next year. Then have his last play be a fucking touchdown pass and like we get his legacy in order.
I guess. I mean, Jordan's last play was a game-winning championship, like, buzzer beater. But then he came back with the Wizards.
Yeah, he sure did.
I don't know. I don't really care about the last play. I care about...
Here's what we shouldn't do is we shouldn't bring Brady back at the expense of and then lose Bill Belichick. That's what I would say.
We're not going to lose Bill Belichick. And, I mean, what I want
We will lose Bill Belichick if Kraft forces him to sign Brady. If Bob Kraft is like, actually, I'm demoting you. You're no longer in charge of football operations. You're in charge of all football operations except you have to have a 43-year-old Tom Brady as your quarterback. And Bob Kraft is like, Bill Belichick is like, fuck this.
Well, who's a better quarterback than Brady for Belichick to have next season?
I don't have an answer. I don't want there to be an answer to that question.
This is what I'm saying is, like, there's not a better team for Brady to go to, and there's not a better option for quarterback for the Patriots to have next season. So what I want to have happen is what is the most sensible for all parties, and that's to bring Brady back for another year. And for Brady to just say, this is my last year. And the Patriots go all out, sell out everything to win next year. That's what I want to have happen. And I want it to be known that it's the last year. I don't like the fucking... And if Brady is like, instead, actually I'm done now, then that's okay too. That won't break my heart.
Would it break your heart to see him play for like
Yeah.
the LA Chargers
Yeah.
next year?
To have him kind of suck and to have the Patriots kind of suck, like... Or have both teams be like pretty good but not Super Bowl contenders, which is what would happen. That would break my heart.
That would be bullshit. Why the fuck would he? I mean, like, they're opening a new stadium in LA and he's going to be so LA. Is that what people are saying, that he's going to be so LA after he retires?
What do you mean, so LA?
Like, omnipresent in LA. Like, going to Cafe Gratitude and eating, like, I don't know, messy power bottom mango lassies.
I took the family. We were in Los Angeles for the wedding, and I took the family, all four of us, to Cafe Gratitude because I knew it would be really funny.
First of all, these inconvenient Jews in our family who get married on the day after Christmas because it's cheaper to fly for everybody, our parents did it, our dear cousin Alana and Zach did it. Never again.
Anyway,
The worst.
Max had an out of body. A Cafe Gratitude, for those of you who don't know, it's like a quintessential but also extreme version of LA cuisine. So it's really healthy, it's all vegan, it's all organic.
It's mad expensive and stupid.
It's really expensive, a lot of like, it's like a nice post yoga meal, and basically all of the
Oh my god, fuck you.
all of the menu items have, instead of just being called like eggplant salad or something, they're called
Humility.
humility. No, it's not humility because it's like humble or something.
Yeah, it's an adjective.
It's an adjective because then when they give it to
These
you,
motherfuckers, when they serve it to you, instead of saying, here's your fucking food, you dumbass, here's your overpriced salad, or like, sorry that we're robbing you, or whatever the thing you would say when you were like ordinarily making this transaction, they go, you're humble.
your excellence, your vivacious. Anyway,
It's so embarrassing.
the-
The first thing that these people do after you order is like, okay, thank you for your order. Do you want to hear the question of the day? And we're like, excuse me? And Sam starts to like hide because my father is now at this point getting involved in like the like interrogation. He's like, "What did you say?" And the waiter's like, "Oh God," it's like, "Do you want to hear the question of the day?" And I was like, "Yes, we do."
You can tell the waiter at this point, we had already ordered, we had like gone through the menu, which is pages and pages of different adjectives and different bowls and stuff, and I already had to we had already been kind of laughing, and the waiter realized that we were not the intended audience for Cafe Gratitude, and that this was already, it was hard enough to get our order. It was like an actual
This
huge
motherfucker
feat.
had an inkling that he was about to become a lifelong Geller family joke, because the next thing out of his mouth was,
But he had to say it. He had to say the question of the day.
"Who inspires you?"
That's it. And when we were just like, wait, what? Sorry? And he's like, who inspires you?
And then I was like, "Do you have a pen and paper?" He's like, "No, just think about it."
And Roger is like, I'm sorry, what did he say? Yeah, while he's still standing at the table, like looks at us and says, I'm sorry, what did he say? And I'm like, he said...
At that point, it was so... The classic thing is that our father will at a certain point stop treating you like you're in the room and then talk to everybody else in the room about how you're making no sense. We've all been there, but this waiter was suddenly like outside of a bubble watching my father in utter befuddlement be like, "Who is this guy to ask us?"
You're like, he was just like, why is he saying that to us? And I was like, no, it's just a question for us to meditate on, Dad. Who inspires you? And anyway, the guy like walked away, and our mom, who had been like by far the best sport about the whole thing, and she I think she might have thought that I was like, I was eager to get the family there because of this. I was just like, I wanted to have this experience that we're describing right now, and I think she thought that I really like this place, and that my feelings would be hurt if I wanted. So she had been like playing along really well and keeping it together and being a good sport about it, but at this point she just no one spoke. The guy walked away and no one spoke for like 3 minutes, and then our mother just started laugh, like she started the laugh chain, and then like it was just the four of us just all laughing and not speaking to each other. And it was really pleasant and nice, and until like my dad's coffee came and he asked for milk, and like he just like realized like it was like, no, you can't have milk, like you can have oat milk. And he like tried oat milk for the first time, and it's just like, no, he actually didn't like this. And Max also didn't understand what I was doing, or like kind of what experience you were supposed to have.
You're
so
so full of shit.
No, you were like, Sam, this is actually fucked up of you to take us here. I can't believe that you would actually fucking do this to us. And like he was like that for like 10 minutes, and then you just went catatonic. By the time the food came and they told you that you were vivacious, you just sat there like a shell of yourself. You had like your soul and spirit had left the building, and you just sat there.
You guys, the food was so gross.
No, the food's good.
It was so bad.
The food's totally good.
This is the thing that Sam is now engaging in what can only be described as like genocide denial level historical revisionism. Like the Turkish and the Zionists would be proud of what my brother's doing right now. He's just like, Ariel to his girlfriend, "I really want to take you to Cafe Gratitude. You'll love it." And then he somehow tricked the whole family into doing it.
That's not
Didn't
true.
realize the like catastrophic error he had made.
That's not
and
true.
is now being like, this was some like interpersonal family drama performance art on my part.
No,
which
it is exactly what that was.
fucking lie.
It
And
was
Sam
my plan
doesn't
all
have-
along. I've been there
Sam
before. I knew what would happen. I know
have
you all.
the range for what he's talking about.
What? I mean, thank you because you. I'm gonna take this as a compliment. This was my plan all along. I knew that this would happen. You all just fucking played your parts perfectly, and it was a wonderful
It was
experience.
it was like Saw 11 or whatever. Cafe Gratitude.
What?
Like I was gonna saw off my arm to have to go to the hospital so we could leave that restaurant early.
Okay, so anyway, I do think it does kind of fit Tom Brady's diet, Cafe Gratitude, and
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He could become like the corporate sponsor of Cafe Gratitude
Yeah,
and just move to LA.
but
That would be fucked up. I would stop watching football. It would be great.
yeah, I want one more go at it. Not because I'm like, I mean, it's been a lot. It's been enough. If it ends now, I'll be extremely grateful and inspired by the run. But I do think we have enough players under contract. I got to look at the who are big free agents besides Tom Brady on this team.
McCourty.
D-Mac or J-Mac?
Both.
They're both free agents. You know, like, everyone wants to, like, no one is going to go out there and find a better situation. Devin McCourty and Jason McCourty are going to go, like, split up and play on different teams, or they're going to retire. I know Devin McCourty thought about retiring last year. Patrick Chung could retire. But Jamie Collins is a free agent?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fucked.
Kyle Van Noy's a free agent.
Yeah, we might be fucked. But we don't have any dangerous skill players on offense either. I mean, we have incredibly reliable, gifted Julian Edelman, who I forgive for dropping that pass.
I forgive him too.
But he's not a dangerous weapon. I mean, he's like a incredible third down, reliable pass catcher. Again, I forgive him. But we need some weapons. Brady needs some weapons. Like, how do we not replace Gronk with anyone? We didn't get a different tight end for him, for Brady. It's crazy. Dorsett sucks. That ended up sucking. Neither of our rookie receivers last year ended up being worth a damn. So
Nikhil Harry was pretty exciting.
He wasn't that good at the end of the day.
It wasn't that good. I mean, it sucks. I really wanted him to win 7 Super Bowls, one more than the Pittsburgh Steelers had.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to like even know what would motivate. Like, who cares?
What if he called his shot though? What if he said, "I'm coming back for one more year and I'm going to win the Super Bowl, mark my words," and then did it and then retired?
I think that's the right story here.
That's the right story.
And meanwhile, we start developing another quarterback to replace him, although who gives a fuck at that point? I mean, I don't know.
We'll just stop watching football after that. If Tom Brady calls his shot, we'll all go home.
Yeah. So, do you care who wins the Super Bowl now?
Absolutely not.
You're not like, you don't want Jimmy G and the 49ers to win?
Well, no, I don't. Because the 49ers have 5. I don't want them to get 6.
Oh, as a team?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. No, I hope Minnesota wins. You know, somewhere non-threatening.
Not Baltimore?
No, fuck that. Ew.
Minnesota's not going to win.
Baltimore's like... They're good.
Yeah.
I don't want Kansas City to win. I would like them to be... I would like Kansas City to remain thwarted. I find that to be funny.
Yeah.
But that's just like a story, you know what I mean? Like, I like that idea. Like, oh, you're a Chiefs fan, you known only misery.
Mm-hmm.
Ha ha.
Ha ha.
I'm threatened by all the joy that Baltimore has enjoyed. Surely it's second to us this century.
No.
They've won 2 Super Bowls.
Not this century.
They won in 2000.
I guess so, yeah. Oh, and then Flacco.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Giants have won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, but they haven't. Eli Manning is a sub 500 quarterback.
No, I think he finished
Sub
500. Oh, no, he finished below?
I think so. In any case, it's really funny that Eli Manning is. Okay. What if Eli Manning replaces Tom Brady and they win the Super Bowl? Would you watch?
What? They're not going to replace Brady with Eli Manning. That would be stupid.
Yeah, that would be really stupid. But what if they did so and won the Super Bowl? Would you watch the Super Bowl, or would you have already checked out?
That's like a weird world that I don't want to... that's a...
Okay, I agree. I don't want to talk about that either.
I mean, do our fans really want to... Do they want to hear us like talk about what it means to have been a Brady supporter all these years and like what we're feeling right now, or do they want to hear more like funny anecdotes about Cafe Gratitude? And
I would assume it's Cafe Gratitude shit.
I did,
but I will say
hear that you took your underwear off in the middle of the game, which we were watching in our separate beds at 4:00 in the morning. You tried to change your underwear at 4:00 in the morning.
Well, I realized I was wearing light blue underpants, which is the same color as the Titans.
Yeah, it was your fault for sure.
I'm sorry for being a Heideggerian on this one.
I don't get it.
If you believe something to help, it will help, is what it boils down to.
That's not Heidegger.
Sure it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Uh-huh.
What book?
The poet.
What?
Being in Time.
You think the thesis of Being in Time is if you
I didn't say it was the fucking thesis.
Well, you think that at any point in Being in Time, Heidegger's like, if you believe something to be true, then it will be. If you take off your blue underwear, then Tom Brady will win against Titans in a divisional round that he has no business playing.
Fuck you, I can't believe you brought this up.
You brought it up.
I didn't bring it up, you asshole.
You're like casually dropping Heideggerian, like false Heideggerian aphorisms.
Oh my god, fuck you. You're like putting words in my mouth. What I'm saying is, if like you talk about his religious understanding, it's like, if it works for you, if you believe the teachings of the Bible to be true, they are true.
No, not Heideggerian. He did say only a God can save us.
You certainly can't.
And that's how I feel about this podcast. Only a God could possibly save it. So let's talk about the Celtics, though.
Oh, good. They're fucking killing it.
They're killing it. Like,
are you concerned about how weird their ailments have gotten?
Let's go over some of those in a second. But I just want to quickly say, at 4:00 in the morning, with the Patriots down 1 and like Brady driving to kick a game-winning field goal, I was kind of just like, yeah, should I just watch the Celtics beat up on the Bulls instead? Like, that might be... And that like thought that I had wasn't wrong. Like,
well,
that would have been
more
more
wrong about the field goal because it never happened.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it would have been more entertaining to just watch Jason Tatum drop 28 on the Bulls than it would have been
13 for 15 shooting.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Like, that's actually fun for me. And watching Brady fail to like get within field goal range to win the fucking playoff game, that's not fun. So the Celtics are really good, like amazing. They're so fucking good. But there is this weird thing happening where everyone keeps getting sick and injured. Right now, Kemba Walker missed the last 2 games with flu-like symptoms. Gordon Hayward has a never-ending bad luck of injuries. Like, he has something.
He played against Chicago.
No, he's been playing, but like there is some complication with his foot from when he broke his leg. Still, what is that? It's like a nerve damage in his foot, and he broke his fucking hand stupidly.
And he got bonked in the nose.
Yeah, but the weirdest is Marcus Smart,
who had pink eye, the nearly fatal case of pink eye.
Yeah, or at least nearly blinding.
Can you imagine?
He couldn't open his eyes for a week or something. What? How does an NBA player get that bad of a pink eye?
I think he was making out with his dog.
Is that the doorbell?
Yeah.
All right, hold on one second. He was making out with his dog. How dare you say that Marcus Smart has been making out with his dog and that's why he got his pink eye?
He just kissed his dog on the mouth.
No, it would make more sense if it's
he let his dog lick his face.
like his eyes. But wait, how do you get pink eye? Is it human feces or any feces?
I don't know. Your eyes touch poop?
Yeah,
Is that what your
poop has to touch your eye.
Yeah, dog licks poop. Maybe human poop, who knows? And then licks Marcus Smart's face.
But where would Marcus Smart's dog find human poop to lick?
Walking around Charlestown.
Anyway, this Celtics team is so fucking fun because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are both all-stars.
You don't know which one is going to turn in one of the most efficient 30-point games in NBA history.
It's so true. They both one of them always has an efficient game, and the other one usually Jason Tatum is like a high volume shooter. But that's good. Like that's how I want it. I want Jason Tatum to have a high volume shooting night, and Jaylen Brown to be like extremely efficient, and then both to score 30 points and to play incredible defense.
There are nights when Jaylen Brown can get to the line 5 times, and those nights he can score 40 points.
Yeah, if he can get if he could go eight times or more to the line. Also, I mean, what's the Schadenfreude level like watching the 76ers fall apart right now?
What do you mean? I hate the 76ers. I don't have any, I'm not, it's I don't know. Do you mean because of Al Horford?
No, I just mean, how much pleasure are you taking in their demise right now?
I would say quite a bit, in spite of Al Horford, whom I still like.
Oh, I think Al Horford was clearly the cancer of the Boston Celtics 2018-19
That's
season.
so stupid and foolish.
Why? Just follow the money and follow the fucking...
No. It was Kyrie Irving.
Then why is Philly falling apart right now?
Because Ben Simmons doesn't have a person... I'll tell you why. Great question. This is my contention. Ben Simmons is Australian.
What about Enes Kanter? He's playing really well right now.
Can I just go back on my...
Fine. What is it about Ben Simmons being Australian that is...
Nobody likes Australian people. They're mad annoying. Except for the ones who are suffering under the wildfire right now, where our hearts are with you. But as, in general, imagine taking leadership from an Australian. Your point guard is supposed to be your floor general. And if they're yelling at you in a stupid accent that's grating on your ears.
He doesn't have that kind of Australian accent.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
And he won't shoot threes. That's why I think the 76ers are lost.
Well, I heard that they're in the market for a trade, and they're looking at Marcus Morris, which I highly recommend them doing.
As a Celtics fan?
Yeah.
Power forward does not seem to be their weak spot.
Well, Marcus Morris is such a fucking ball stopper who sucks to watch. I didn't like Marcus Morris. I think he's actually a bigger reason.
Things are happy?
Yeah, I think things are really good. So, what about Enes Kanter?
Well, I think he needs to be really careful about his politics.
Explain. Well, Enes Kanter is this Turkish center that the Celtics have this year who has been playing really, really well lately, but he...
Has he, though?
Yeah,
he's been getting...
He's had lots of double-doubles recently.
Yeah, but against garbage teams with garbage players.
he doesn't look like an elite athlete when you're watching him play, which he's not fun to root for, but his politics are
Interesting.
interesting. I mean, what do you mean by that?
He's a critic of Erdogan, which you would want Turkish citizens to be. Sure. All my friends who are Turkish are also critics of Erdogan.
Are all of your Turkish friends also big Clintonites? Because
No.
Cantor is.
That's what I'm saying. When you're an American, when you have a primarily American audience, which he does, he's like speaking to NBA fans about like human rights and Hillary Clinton. You are manufacturing consent for war. It's like, oh, I just think like, even though his position seems reasonable, the solution isn't the U.S. foreign policy solution.
Right.
And he's talking to people who are like being talked into using the army to solve this problem.
He's like thinks that Erdogan is bad and that the thing to do is to like have a military intervention.
No, but I think there are people who think that. Like, there are people in government, the Republican Party, who think that war is the answer to everything. And Cantor needs to be careful that he isn't doing their work for them.
But yeah, I think it's really funny that Weird Celtics Twitter accused him of killing Jeffrey Epstein because he's so close with Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton.
I didn't see that.
By the time I get back to America, are we going to be in war against Iran?
Man, I don't know. But I think it's really important, everybody. This is all I want to say about that. I think it's really important for everybody. Take it from me. This is my advice to you. Resist the temptation, no matter how tempting it may be. Resist the temptation to say, boy, if World War III starts, I hope we lose. Don't say that. No matter how tempted you might be to say, if we go to war and we're on the side of Saudi Arabia and Israel and we're going up against China and Russia and Iran and India is on our side and Brazil joins up with us, and then Boris Johnson takes our side in the Nazi in Poland. If that happens,
What the fuck are you talking about?
and you're tempted to say, I hope that this war comes and we lose, just don't say it out loud. That's my advice to you.
What on earth are you fucking talking about?
That's what I have to say about the war.
Why?
Because if World War III happens and you think we should lose, it's not a good thing to say out loud. That's my advice to people.
How did you learn that?
That's my analysis of the situation.
And how did you come by that analysis?
I've been thinking a lot about it.
Have you been saying out loud that
I would never.
war comes and that we lose?
No.
And getting shit for it?
What?
Yes, you have, because you're fucking crazy. It's insane to walk down the streets.
I would never say that. No one would ever be able to prove that I said that.
I truly hope that there is no war.
Me too.
But
it's completely insane and really bad.
It's so bad. And if the war does come, then I'm really going to need Brady to have another season.
No, won't matter.
Well, I'm just going to need something to kind of pass the time with.
New Pearl Jam album.
Ew. Well,
should we tell people about Morocco?
Yeah. Share some thoughts about Morocco.
I like it here.
I love it here. It's wonderful.
Nice country. Their king is a serial human rights.
I don't really want to talk about their king
Okay.
while we're here. And people can hear us. There's secret police everywhere.
There is secret police everywhere, which is supposedly to protect tourists.
But if these tourists happen to have like walking around talking about the dictatorship of the evil king, then it's maybe not to protect them.
Not those particular tourists.
Um,
Also, the occupation of Western Sahara, which is settler colonial in nature and fucked up. They don't want you to talk about that either. They'll stop protecting you real quick. What was your favorite part?
it was fun riding a camel on the beach at sunset.
That was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen you do, and I'm so glad that I didn't participate in the camel portion of the evening.
What, you rode a horse instead?
I rode a horse instead of sat on a camel. Yes. I rode a horse.
Sat on a horse instead of sitting on a camel. You're not a good horseback rider.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not listen to my brother who is competitive about everything and usually wins, which is really frustrating. But he's not better at equestrian sports than me.
Yes, I am.
I'm one of the great polo players, self-taught, who's ever been recruited and refused to join up in the Maccabee games.
I don't understand what that means.
It's all right. But the thing is, I'm really good on horseback, and I was able to ride circles around Sam as he sat on a really slow camel that was tied to another camel and had a whole structure so that he didn't fall off the hump of the slow
it's called
moving.
a saddle. That's what that structure was. Your horse also had a whole structure to prevent
Did
you
it
from
have
falling off.
armrests? You colonial fuck.
No, it didn't.
Did it?
Have
Was I tied to?
But Ariel and I wanted our camels to be together, so Ariel was scared, and so I let her tie her camel to mine. I'm happy to lead the camel. What did you call it? Caravan? Anytime, Ariel or anyone else out there. Anyway, moving on.
I like the cooking class we did.
The cooking class was super fun.
Yeah.
What did we make?
Rafisa, which was it was eggplants and chicken and onions.
Well, it's also just been fun to walk around the Medina. This is
Old port town.
An old port town. We go to the beach. We get some really nice fish.
There's rampats.
It's rampats. It's a great trip. We had New Year's Eve in London.
Yeah, and then we got on really cheap flight. I'm really glad you did this. It's really nice of you to fly to London and get on a Ryanair flight. We took our first Ryanair flight as a family, which is this really cheap European air that's worse than Spirit in every way. And they charge you for everything, including printing your boarding pass. So if you show up without your own printed boarding pass, they're grab you by your ankle and hold you upside down and shake you.
Anyway, yes, it is mostly for your birthday, which we had a really fun day that we came here. But did you get another birthday present from me?
Oh yeah, it was in addition to coming to visit me and then getting on a Ryanair flight, which is incredibly uncomfortable on purpose. I can't really overstate how much of an effort. You sort of have to tip your cap to them for their monumental achievement in discomfort. They really thought of everything. Anyway, Sam made me a Wikipedia page, you guys. You should definitely Google me, and it's supplanted. I sort of disagree with how everything's framed, but what's really nice is there's a Zionist propaganda webpage called the Canary Mission that seeks to silence and intimidate Palestinian activists through shaming them, and they're really good at the Google algorithm, and they make you seem like an anti-Semite terrorist supporter for supporting Palestine on your college campus, and then they brand you with this for life. And my whole life, no matter how many cool things I did on the internet, I would always be, my Google search results would always be Canary Mission first, until Sam made me a Wikipedia page. And it's really funny and nice. And I encourage you all to go look at it and try and edit it. Please, someone edit it. It's so embarrassing.
They're not gonna edit it to make it better for you. The more people edit this, you're gonna hate it even more. The way that it's framed, it is really good. Check out the Wikipedia page. I think we should.
It's a really good gift.
Thank you. You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
And let's end the podcast now. This special edition podcast live from Morocco. We're both in the same room together, and the Patriots season over, and we don't really fucking care. It's kind of sad and frustrating, but it doesn't really fucking matter. We won the Super Bowl last year.
We won the Super Bowl 6 times in the last 20 years. Everyone else can kiss my ass.
We had a really fun Celtics. The podcast is still going on. We're not gonna stop.
No.
Right?
I don't think, maybe.
I mean, eventually, but not yet.
We'll see. I mean, the people have spoken. They're really into the last episode, but wanted to know more about the Geller-Safdie relationship, and maybe you'll hear more once they get better.
The Patriots or the Safdies?
The Safdies.
Wait, I did also want to say, for the Wikipedia page's sake, I needed to cite this, and Jeremy really wanted to include it. What did you do for your senior capstone project
I'm
in
not
high
talking
school?
about this. Goodbye, everybody.
No. I need to just get a one sentence in there. You fought mom?
No,
I heard that for your senior thesis in high school, you learned Aikido and then demonstrated this martial art by fighting your mom in front of your entire class. Is that
fighting
true?
mom.
Did you fight mom in front of the class?
Yeah. We did Aikido together.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Check that out on the Wikipedia page. I'm going to cite this episode.
This is called epistemology, folks.
All right, thanks for joining, everybody. Love you, Max. Bye.